recent military manoeuvres. There's been media reports all setting off alarms in the diplomatic community. Kevin Flower is covering that side of the story from Jerusalem. What is behind the headlines here? Is this posturing? Is this serious? What are you hearing?
Well, Michael, it's based on lots of different things that have been floating around, but the bottom line is here for the past week and a half, the Israeli media, the Israeli pundit circles, and the broadcast media have been fixated on one question, and that is, will Israel be attacking Iran? A rocket lands in a suburban Tel Aviv park, releasing a noxious yellow gas. Within moments, dozens are rendered unconscious, and emergency response teams, clad in protective clothing, begin the work of moving the wounded. This, however, is not real. It's part of an Israeli government drill to prepare for large-scale rocket attacks from hostile neighbors. And it comes at a time when talk about the possibility of Israel attacking Iran's nuclear program has hit fever pitch. Recently, Israeli media have reported that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Defense Minister Ehud Barak are pushing the cabinet to accept unilateral military action. This, as a senior U.S. military official acknowledged concerns about Israel's intentions. In an interview with CNN, Barak pushed back on the media reports.
I don't think that we are in a stage of discussing any kind of military action. I don't think that if and when we have to discuss it, it should be discussed the way that we are talking now.
Compounding the speculation about Israel's plans, recent long-range training exercises by the Israeli Air Force in Italy. There was also a test last week of a propulsion system. Israel would not confirm reports that the test was for a long-range ballistic missile, saying only that the test was long planned. And add to that the impending release of an International Atomic Energy Agency report expected to offer new details that Iran's nuclear program is geared towards weapons development. You are left with a situation in which some observers believe an Israeli military strike could be more than theoretical for the Netanyahu government.
For him, this is the target. Nothing else is important. Not the Palestinian issue, not the situation between Israel and Turkey and so on and so on. Just Iran. So if Netanyahu will decide this is the future of Israel, we don't need a green light from the States.
Now, whether or not Israel intends to to implement some sort of military action against Iran or not, what it's done, Michael, is put the Iranian program firmly in the international spotlight, which is, of course, just where Israel wants it. Michael?
Yeah, and Kevin, of course, it's caused a lot of concern, as we said, around the world. I mean, the willingness, is there a political willingness or a public willingness for Israel to act so unilaterally were it to come to that?
Well, it's interesting. There was a poll just last week by one of the daily newspapers here that showed support versus opposition to an Israeli strike against Iran was dead even, 40% in favor of some sort of military strike and 40% opposed to it. So it is not as far-fetched an idea as it might seem to some people in other countries around the world, Michael.
All right, Kevin, thanks for that. Kevin Flower there in our Jerusalem bureau.